Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Eating While Broke. I'm your host, Coline Witt, and today we have very special guests, relationship expert and magnetic matchmaker.
Spicy Mate.
Exactly. She just did my whole intro for me.
I'm helping you out.
Thank you so much.
Founder of The Spicy Life.
Yes, and you also have a podcast called The Spicy Life.
The Spicy Life, yes.
Yes. And when you say matchmaker, you're just out here, just someone calls you and you
It's a process. It's a program. So I take you for 90 days and transform your life. So I have an entire curriculum program that we're doing. There's not just video and audio, but like actual assessments that we're taking so that I can help you become the best version of yourself to be aligned with your purpose mate.
Got it. That's okay. So it's not like I have a pool of men.
I do, but you aren't being introduced until after you do the work. Because if I just take you cold off of the street based on everything that you've been exposed to, everyone you've been experiencing, and you think that you're just gonna snap into recognizing and realizing that this person is the one, it doesn't work like that. I gotta find out where the wounds are, where the strengths and weaknesses are. I do like a whole little SWOT analysis, and then we get to work so that way when he is presented in front of you, you now can recognize him and accept him, and you then are aligned. But if I just try to go cold turkey, you will not have a match because you're already on a certain vibration. So I need to disrupt that wavelength.
Jeez.
Yes.
Okay.
And I would teach you how to fish so that you can feed yourself, right? Because heaven forbid something happened to me. Now you know and you have the tools to be able to guide the male psyche.
Oh, we doing all that too?
We're doing all that. There's
guide the male psyche.
Psychological, behavioral.
Now, do you do it for men too?
I do it for men as well.
And do you have a lot of men that come to you?
I do. And the other element that you'll often see is me working with couples that we are trying to heal and repair the relationship, but I'll also be very honest when they should not be together and they belong with somebody else.
Wow. You say that. Now, what if a significant other hires you in, says, hey, I want you to save my marriage, and you get them in a room and you're like, oh yeah, this hate.
Now I see why you guys are having problems. My goal is for you guys to stay together. My goal is always for relationship. I'm always on team love. So I don't care who's wrong or right. If it's not aligned with the purpose and the mission, which is to restore the family unit, then I can't get with it. Everything has to go back to the goal, which is to restore the relationship and have a healthy relationship. If we're making choices that aren't healthy, we gotta get to work.
Okay, so before we get into the love world, take me back to what was going on. I'm guessing before.
Yes.
Okay.
Before the company. Before the Spicy Life.
Before the Spicy Life. So what are you gonna have me eating today?
We're gonna be eating my spicy toast.
Spicy toast.
Yes.
Okay. What does it consist of?
Simple ingredients. We've got butter, cinnamon, that's where the spice comes in, with the sugar, okay?
Okay.
And hard-boiled eggs.
Okay.
Gotta have a little protein in there to balance the carbs.
Yeah, so this was a real deal, holy deal for you.
This is what I made to feed my family. So
feed your family.
And what I say by that is anyone who's the oldest child, okay, you guys should understand this as the oldest, we then take on some of the parental role and responsibility, right? Even though we're extremely young. And so I grew up in a single parent home. Okay. And so come Mother's Day, I still hit my siblings up are we celebrating me or what? Because I practically raised you.
That's hilarious.
So
is your mom still around?
Go-to dish. My mom is.
Okay. Yeah. And you still say, hey, give me my
props. Me my props. My mom has a disagreement. My mom's like, you didn't do anything. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I raised your children.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would imagine.
Yeah. But that's my spicy mama, and I love her. Okay. But I took my kids, I took my siblings to school. I, fed them. And so at the time, of course, I'm like 8 years old when my sister's born. And I don't necessarily know how to use all of the dishes and all the pots and pans and stuff. So I kept it simple. I was good at toast and my cinnamon toast crunch, which is now my spicy toast, which my son now gets to enjoy.
Okay. Yeah, so you still, okay, good.
I've carried it on.
That's nice to know.
But my siblings tease me all the time. They're like, you didn't cook for us. The toast doesn't count. I'm like, yes, it does. Did you die?
Funny.
You lived.
How many
you?
siblings did you have?
I'm the oldest of 3.
Oldest of.
Yeah, so I have 2 siblings, a brother and a sister. And I'm the oldest of 3.
And the age gap is 8 years.
8 and 11.
8 and 11.
Yeah. And like back then, it was not abnormal for your 8-year-old, up until, to watch the kids and, be left by yourself. And so I was a latchkey kid.
Wow.
And so I had to figure it out. My mom liked to prepare leftovers. And so we ate like a lot of those and I would warm those up. But my go-to dish was always like the spicy toast with some hard-boiled eggs because I could boil eggs.
And were you like the in-house babysitter a lot? Like,
yes.
All the time?
All the time.
Did you ever snap back at her like in your, like, these ain't my kids? No, huh?
So my mother would have thrown me against the wall.
Yeah. I believe that. Okay.
But yes, there were conversations had that it was just kind of like, dang, I don't want to. Like, why do I have to? And it was very much like, this is your responsibility. And she's the baby of 6. So sometimes there would be that like energy clash of like, well, you were the baby of 6. I'm the oldest of 3. You don't understand it. You don't get it.
Wow. Okay.
But we have these conversations like now in our maturity and our, evolution of us and our relationship. And there's been like a lot of healing and repair around my childhood perceptions and, where, she could have showed up differently or I could have showed up differently. But at the end of the day, all of the stereotypes about the eldest child remain true for me.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. Well, go ahead. Feed me, sis. Oldest child. You want me to hand you the bread? Go for it. We pre-boiled spicy maris. I'm trying to emphasize your name because I've been working on it. Spicy maris. We pre-boiled your hard-boiled eggs, so I'm guessing we could just peel it, right?
We could just peel it.
I'll work on mine. Even though I think, is there salt over there?
How hot do we have? Yes, we gotta have the salt and pepper.
Okay, salt and pepper. I haven't had a hard-boiled egg in so long. The last time we had a hard-boiled egg on this show was very traumatizing.
Why?
Because the young lady chose a pickled egg.
Ooh.
And let me tell you something. It, like, to this day, I don't look at eggs the same because of that pickled egg. It's trying to traumatize me. So let's see if the trauma still lingers.
Okay. Because I love, when I tell you that I eat probably 4 eggs a day.
Really?
A lot of protein, yeah.
Okay. Well, you look stunning.
Less carb now. Thank you.
You look stunning.
I appreciate you.
So is your mom still single?
My mom, so that's the origin story, right? Single parent home, grew up with a deep desire for a father. So early on, my father went to prison, and I didn't know, like, drug dealer goes to prison. But all I knew was like, hey, I deserve a daddy. What's going on, Mom, with your love life? So I started to intentionally introduce her to men because I would see my mother's like reaction to guys being in her life. She was very young, she was hot. My mom had me when she was 20. So like there was this energy of like wanting to still be married, and I felt that from her, and I wanted a daddy. I noticed how poor you were. I noticed the other kids had 2 parents, and I really felt like I deserve that. So I would go up to men in the gas station, at the car wash, at my school, pitching my mom and me as like
a package deal,
a great package. Like, look how cute I am, look how fabulous she is.
But I'm pretty sure, looking at you, your mom had to. She had to beat him off a little bit.
My
right?
mom was a soul train dancer.
Okay. Yeah. So
she gave up her career for me.
Okay.
But like my mom was a hottie.
Okay.
And so definitely like would be, trying to sell the package. Because also, too, when my mom was in a relationship, we had more. We had more resources, more toys, more food.
So she did get in other relationships.
My mom was married 3 times.
Okay.
I like to say that I get the credit for that. But my mom saw
why? Because you introduced her to all the husbands?
Because when you are, I consider people with big hearts, right? We're still products. And so I understood at a very young age that like, we got to seal this deal.
Yeah.
And so I was accustomed to the men understanding how close we were. And also when they would court my mom, they would also court me. And what I mean, and not in a negative way, what I mean is a very positive way, in the sense of if they brought her flowers, they brought me flowers.
Oh, I like
if
that.
They got her a gift, they would come with something for me. And so it was very much like, oh, I like how this feels. I understand why my mom is into this. And I kept doing it over and over.
Okay.
Like, I kept introducing her to people over and over because I just saw how happy she was in relationship. And that did something for me. The credit of like, dang, I helped you with that relationship. And I was young. When I tell you I was young.
Well, give me an idea of how young you are.
I was pitching her at 6.
Oh, you were really young.
And my mom has been married 3 times. She was divorced when, before 6th grade, she got a divorce. And that last divorce, I was like, we need to make this work somehow. But since then, my mother, of course, has had like other boyfriends. But my whole purpose arose from plugging her in relationships and seeing how it changes you and seeing the negative and the positive from it. And she saw that I also had a gift and like this propensity to try to connect. And I kept doing it throughout high school. I would plug my friends, college. And she was like, oh, no, you need to like study this. And so I went to UC Berkeley from there. And I too always had a boyfriend. Like I loved relationships, but that's not enough. You can't just like be obsessed with relationships. You actually need to understand and have strategy and the tools in order for it to be healthy.
Yeah, I saw in your bio, there's like it was like a certification or like I didn't even know there was like a school for relationships, but in your bio, it said something like that, right? So,
in communications, I studied not just women's studies. I went to Spelman as well and studied women's studies. That's shout out to AKA MuPi. And then in my undergrad, I did communication, and that was where I realized the breakdown between men and women.
Okay.
And then I went on to get my master's in communication as well. And that dealt more with like me understanding not just how men and women communicate, but also how technology plays a role in our lack of intimacy or can expand and help it. And so everything that I did in my master's was actually to build the spicy life. When I saw the problems that we were having in relationships, the spicy life grew into more of a, not just like, let me matchmake. It grew into, no, you guys need coaching. So I took psychology, sociology, and then went on to get certified as a dating coach.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then marital counseling from Gottman Institute.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's a certification for that. I didn't even know. Yeah.
You can get, yes. There are certifications for any area that you want to become more of an expert in. I'm a huge proponent of like, it's one thing to have lived experience. It's another thing to have education.
Yeah.
With those two combined, you're more powerful.
Yeah.
Versus, I just read a book. No. Okay, but I also applied the tools and then manifested that as well.
But you knew from a very young age, from this age of toast and eggs, that this is your cup of tea.
I always knew. In the sense of, I knew that I was good at it. I didn't know that it was my gift. My mom brought that to my attention. One time in high school, I came home, and like I said, we didn't have much. We were poor. She doesn't like for me to say poor. I think she prefers me to say or not use poverty. What is it? Poor versus
broke. My mom prefers broke. Yeah.
Okay. My mom says we were broke. We weren't poor.
Yeah, that's my mom too.
Potato.
No, there's a difference. There's a difference. I just want to clarify the difference because I like the way my mom says it.
Clarify it.
Broke is temporary.
Okay.
Poor is more long term. So it's like if you say, okay, I'm broke right now, you know, okay, I'm broke right now.
Yeah.
But if you say I'm poor, it's like you're destitute, almost like past, future, current, you're poor.
For like ever?
For broke is more like, the way my mom positions broke is always like a temporary. You know? So that was her whole thing. Okay, we're broke right now. But if you say you're poor, poor just seems to have a little bit more of a longer
So my mom is on your team. Okay, yeah. She's poor versus broke.
She was broke.
But
shout out to your mom.
I'm like, well, we're not broke or poor when she was married. The moment that like the relationship was over, it was back to the streets, right? We were living with my auntie. We moved in, and this was in 7th grade. We moved in with my auntie and me and my siblings, and I had to take care of them. And my mom was living in San Diego. We're living in San Clemente. Yeah. On the Marine base, because my aunt was married and in a trailer. We lived in a trailer with her and my siblings. And so I was with them every single day, making sure like they got up for school, that they were going down. Because my aunt had her 6 kids to take care of.
So there's a lot to unpack here.
Let's go.
How did these breakups impact you? Because I get the love and the highs, but how did the lows not have a negative impact on you?
They absolutely did, right? Tons of daddy issues.
Yeah. All right. So here's to the healthier version. I love the yolk.
That's your favorite part? I love it all. So like I could do egg whites. I could also do the yolk. I'm just an egg person.
Really good.
Perfect.
Is this your 3rd egg today?
Yes.
It's mine too.
You already ate 2?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, we're on the same. Look, we're on the same diet plan.
2 eggs and like 3 pieces of turkey bacon.
And I'll probably wind up having another egg later with my salad or whatever.
I'm gonna try doing that.
Dinner. When I tell you one time I was trying to lose weight, I did a meat, cheese, and egg diet.
Mm-hmm.
You only can eat meat.
Mm-hmm.
You can only eat cheese and eggs for like 3 months straight.
How was it?
I lost like 20 pounds.
For real?
At the end, you start to incorporate vegetables and fruit, which is crazy to not eat vegetables and fruit in the beginning even. But they want to drop your blood sugar. And so I lost a lot of weight, but it's not sustainable. Meat, cheese, and eggs
I love
for
fruit.
the rest of your life is not sustainable. But I lost a lot of weight.
Well, if I'm ever going on vacation, I'm going to try that. All right. For the cinnamon toast, we're only doing 1 bite.
1 bite because we're on a diet.
Oh, you only took a cute little bite out of your egg.
You want me to eat more of my egg?
No, I mean,
that made
go
you feel
ahead.
bad?
No, I'm an eater. I tell people, when people be like, how much do you eat? I'm like, I eat like a real person.
I saw you eating on your clips. I was like, oh, she eats the food.
Oh, there's sometimes where we have to call cut. I'm like, yo, we're going to finish this meal.
Because you're still scarfing.
Yeah. All right. We're going in for the cinnamon toast, butter cinnamon toast right here.
I'm going to take a bite with you.
Mm-hmm. I feel like when you was a kid, you laced this way better than this.
I did. But now that I know the calories of butter.
Okay. Yeah, because I know if I would have done this, I would have.
I wasn't health conscious until 7th grade when I got my braces off.
Okay.
Reason being is because, I'm going to give you all the whole backstory.
You better.
The one common thing between my mom and her husband's, and my mom's giving me permission to share the intimate details of our lives, is that they all were addicts.
Oh, okay.
So my stepdad at the time, when he would drink, I would go to the liquor store with him, and we would pick up his 6-packs, and he would always give me candy bars. And I got in the habit of expecting a candy bar every day because he was getting a 6-pack every day.
Okay.
So I gained a lot of weight. I was a chubby kid.
Okay.
When I got my braces off, though, because I wasn't allowed to eat nuts and caramel when you have braces, the weight came off when I stopped eating all that candy.
Wow.
And so when I took the braces off, I lost all the weight, and then the boobies came out. I was like, oh, not only does this look better, but y'all treat me different when I'm 20 pounds smaller than when. So that was like the first time that I noticed, like, okay, when I cut sugars, and this was young. I'm like, I'm a kid at this point. But I was like, dang, the way that the boys were on me, I was like, ooh, I like this attention. I'm gonna keep doing this. No wonder my mom was addicted to it. So that was like an eye-opening moment for me. Until this day, I do a different diet every other month.
And you definitely stay away from the sugars.
Okay. To lose the weight, I stay away from the sugars. But the reason why I have to go back on the diet is because I still have a bad relationship with food.
Oh, you do have a bad...
I have one, more than likely, body image dysmorphia. Based on like a paper that I wrote in college, I diagnosed myself. I was like, based on my studies, I have body image dysmorphia. But my relationship with food still is the same in the sense of when I look in the mirror, I still see, a big girl that when, as a kid in my elementary days. And then when I gain weight, it reminds me of, I don't fit my clothes appropriately. I don't feel as confident as usual. And so me understanding the power that it has over me, it's a process in the sense of, I understand that we need to love ourselves through it, but I don't believe that when I'm overweight, I look my best. So you can't change the belief.
Yeah.
So instead, okay, well, let me program myself to do the healthy thing. Let me go to the healthy habit if I can't change the belief that I have about when I'm big.
Now
you understand that?
But that's great, right? I mean, that sounds healthy.
It's a healthy way to handle it.
Oh, healthy response.
Versus, I'm just going to accept as I am and continue to eat whatever I want. And so there's different ways that it can go. The way that it transfers into relationship as well, because I tell my clients the same thing when it comes to the belief system, is if you believe that, let's just say all men are trash or don't love women or they're all dogs, then you'll behave in a way that serves that belief. You're not going to be kind to them. You're going to treat them with the same level of respect that you think they treat you. You're going to be standoffish, and you're not going to be a magnet for the thing that you're trying to attract. Instead, you're going to be a magnet for the thing that you hate, the thing that you say that you want to avoid.
Okay.
I can't transform that belief until we unpack why we believe that. We have to get to the root of that perspective. Like what formed that belief, what's at the root of it. And then I have to give you a behavior that proves that belief wrong.
Okay.
So what that would look like is if let's just say you think the men are trash. Okay, well, let's put ourselves in an environment and experience a kind man. The kind man will help you shift the belief because now you will have an experience that makes a deposit into the positive belief bank versus the negative.
But how do you give them that experience?
So we're redoing your dating profiles. I'm taking you out. We're hunting, right? Like I'm going with you as your wing woman, and I'm helping you actually like figure out how to communicate with them effectively. We are going to events. We're going, like, you name it, we're doing it. I'm going through not just my Rolodex, but we're reaching out. We're asking friends. We are tapping into our network the same way you would with I need a job. Does anybody have one? Yeah. We're doing the same thing when it comes to a man.
Wow.
I have to make those positive deposits in there. And or I'm not gonna be able to change the belief. Yeah. So for, my toast and my carbs and all that, it's the same thing. Okay, what's the positive deposits that I can make to make me feel better about the thing that I'm trying to manifest?
I like it.
Does that make sense?
I like it. It makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
The family has been a huge part of my craziness.
Going back, let's talk about these breakups and how they impacted you and like what that did.
Yep. I saw growing up unhealthy relationships, tumultuous relationships, where my mother was treated well in the beginning and then mistreated when the man had her or their true nature came out. So that impacted me in a way that you would think that I would have a disdain for men. Yeah. It did not. Instead, I was like, that's not going to be me. Until my naivety, I got in a relationship in 7th grade with a gentleman, Roy, wind up seeing him kiss someone else. And that is that is the moment when I decided I was going to be a gangster moving forward with men. Okay, so then there was a shift that occurred.
Oh, I like this.
It wasn't my daddies that made the shift. It was actually, it was Roy. I've talked to him in years. But Roy was the first person to ever cheat on me and betray me. Jeez. And in that moment, I was like, oh, I will never be hurt like this again. So it took me into my wounded feminine. The wounded feminine felt weak, and I didn't like the way that felt. So in order to empower myself, I leaned into my wounded masculine.
Yeah, and I want to, because that's what is the gangster you? I want to know what that looks like.
The gangster me is you don't love these hoes, right? So I would, I was dating, and this is high school, right? Like I was still a virgin.
Oh, this is in high school.
This is high school. I was still a virgin in high school. I didn't lose my virginity till 21. So I played with a lot of men's hearts, right? I was a tease. I was a flirt. One of my best friends also let me know, like, you can't invest in these men. Like, you need to, like, do you. The men will be there. And because I was a straight A student, I was like, oh, okay, I could get these good grades. I could have you take me out. But then there's this moment where one of the dudes who I was, playa, he had bought me a diamond necklace. And I brought it home to my mom, and I'm like, look at this necklace he got me. And it was like Zales. But like, still, I'm in high school. Yeah. My mom was like, how did you get, because she knows I'm a virgin. My mom knows everything about me. So she was like, how did you get this dude to get you this diamond necklace? I was like, I just told him that, I wanted some jewelry and he got me this. And she was like, okay, I'm not even going to ask where it came from and how he got it because y'all are in high school. She's like, but I do know that you have a gift. She's like, you have the ability to connect with people and also guide them. And that means that I need to guide this energy appropriately. She was like, you can use your gift for good or you can use it for evil. Okay. She was like, and if I would have stayed with your father, you would have probably been the best madam in the world. But I didn't stay with him for a specific reason. So I need you to make sure that you are using your gifts for good.
Okay. Dang.
Do you understand
so
that?
You had like a swagger type pimp mentality?
I was like, we don't
That's
know
what she's saying, right? Yeah. Okay, got it.
I was like, what can we get? Cause also remember, I'm also seeing, like, when I was little with her, we would get gifts into this. So I'm just playing out what I saw my mom receiving and experiencing. But it wasn't necessarily a healthy mindset. Yeah. She was like, I need you to educate yourself, empower yourself so that you're not dependent on these men. Because she saw my self-esteem was also affected by it. And so I wasn't aware enough in high school to understand. We weren't talking about mental health and esteem at that point. She just recognized certain traits that also flowed from her to me. And she was like, you're going to be either a dog or a lover of men, or you're going to abuse these powers. And my mom was a hopeless romantic, and she didn't want me to feel like men had all of the control. So she was like, go to college, be the first to go to college, blah, blah, blah. And I did. And college had a relationship. Wasn't the most honest with this person in college.
You?
Yeah.
You weren't. Like, you still Madame in it, huh?
The dog was still there. Okay, I was still hurt.
That's hilarious.
Roy set me on a trajectory. And so that getting caught, right? Like, accidentally at the time emailed my boyfriend an email about somebody who's going to come visit me at college for the weekend. So I hit him up. I'm like, please don't open that email. Please don't open it.
After you sent it?
After I sent it.
And it was supposed to be to someone else?
It was supposed to be in response to the dude who was coming to visit me, and I accidentally sent it to the boyfriend at the time. Yeah, I told you. Mind you, still hadn't slept with any of these men. I done. How graphic can we get on here? Okay.
Yeah.
Had done the everything else, right? All the other elements of intimacy, but still not sex.
Yeah.
I still wound up losing it to this gentleman who
you sent this email to?
I lost it to the boyfriend at the time, because I wanted to make sure that I lost it to somebody who I loved, who treated me right. And even though I mistreated him, I felt like I wasn't going to be able to wait till marriage. I knew I wasn't going to be able to wait till marriage. And so I still felt like we needed to share this intimacy while we still have like the safety there.
Yeah, yeah.
So that relationship also, plus my studies, understanding that in my 20s, the trajectory that I was going down, although I'm out here like studying relationships, setting people up, I needed to further my education. And that's when I went like back to school later. But I was already doing a radio show for KJLH, giving spicy tips. And then later on, wound up doing spicy tips and relationship advice on iHeart for 92.3. But went back to get my master's so that I could help people correctly with the tools. And then also was building my company at the same time. But I had to do a transformation within, because even through my 20s, I was still allowing myself to think that in relationship or in partnership, you have more. And you do have more, right? In the sense of
because you have a partnership.
You have a partnership.
Yeah.
But
if they're on the right team.
If they're on the right team, yes. But I don't date men who don't dote you, like who don't dote on you and like court you. That was a non-negotiable for me. So I wasn't ever going to be without. But what I didn't understand is that I was actually dating from a scarcity mindset. I feel like it's a lot. Like you need like several episodes for my love life, which are all going in a book.
Oh, they are? Do you have to make up names for the characters too?
Anytime you talk about someone out of respect and for their privacy, I'm changing names, and I'm changing even if I reference like examples around maybe something that I'm pulling from maybe a client, I'm going to change all the details so that it doesn't trace back to that person, just to respect their privacy, and then also be sharing and getting their permission. Yeah. Anytime you mention someone, you want to get that.
Anytime now. So to go back to your story, you're in college. You've lost your virginity. You're understanding this relationship cycle, but this whole time you're in pursuit of eventually creating the spicy life. But maybe not the name of it yet.
Didn't know the name yet.
Okay.
That was birthed after, like, I graduated in undergrad. I'm a girlfriend person. So I stay in relationship from relationship to relationship. I've definitely had those seasons where I'm like, okay, I need to be single so that I can love myself and be alone, blah, 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 blah. I've tasted the single life, and I've tasted the spicy life. And in relationship, what I noticed about myself is that I thrive and go further.
Okay.
When I'm in a unhealthy relationship, I fall to the wayside. It takes over.
Yeah.
And so identifying that early on, and identifying the power that sex had over my emotions, and how it would either make me super anxious, or I would be spiraling and I can't eat, I can't sleep, I'm showing up at your house. Like I went through that crazy season.
Oh, you did?
So there was always this back and forth between like the gangster in me and then like the thirst in me. Because at the end of the day, what my heart really wanted was love. What my heart really wanted was a man. What my heart really wanted was a father.
Yeah. Now, have you heard that subconsciously that people are attracted to that familiar energy? Well, what am I saying? You've studied this.
Yes.
Is this, I'm going to ask you, is this a thing? Because I was telling my homeboy, he definitely leaving his name out, but he's in a relationship where he's continually being abandoned. And I was just like, you know, I had learned from a toxic relationship. I went to therapy for, but, you know, the lady had said subconsciously the feeling you had in, say, a childhood or whatever, you're re-invoking it, whether you liked it or not, subconsciously. Is this true? Can you shed more light on that?
So what it is that you tend to date what you know, right? So even though you may say you don't want that thing, because it's familiar to you, you will subconsciously attract that thing and choose that thing. And so what that may look like for me, for example, was because I wanted a father figure, I'm going to go after men that either maybe I saw my mom date, men that may not have been even certain about me. That would be like I don't realize that this is something that is affecting me. So that would look like, if I'm anxious, right, it would look like me getting with maybe an avoidant, because my mom was with avoidance, men who were not emotionally available to her. And so, but that was familiar because that's how my dads were. And so you recognize, okay, what's my kryptonite? What are the things that are holding me back from achieving what I want? And you have to make a conscious decision for what you want.
Okay. So like an anxious or avoidant attachment style, like you're looking at the attachment style.
So so that plays a role in how you behave and navigate in the relationship. For me, what I wanted was a father figure and to be loved appropriately by a man. But what I was attracting were men who either embodied some of the characteristics of previous father figures or understood that was a void that I was hunting for. And so I was accepting maybe their voids or their weaknesses or their wounds. So we were wound mates. We were not purpose mates. A wound mate is someone who you both share a similar wound or hurt.
Okay.
And so that person then becomes attached to you through time, shared experiences, intimacy. But that is not somebody who's going to propel you into your purpose. That's actually somebody who's going to hold you back. And so when I would see, I got in a relationship with this one guy, and I introduced my mom to, let's say, all of my men. Wouldn't introduce this one because the relationship was so toxic. He was an alcoholic. And my mom was like, this is looking real familiar. And she busted me out. She was like, you won't let me meet him. What is wrong with him? There's something going on. You introduced me to all your little chicky boom booms. What is wrong with him? And I was like, well, Mom, I'm making a pros and cons list right now about him because I don't know whether to stay or whether to go. And she was like, stop making that pros and cons list about him. Make it about yourself.
Okay.
She's like, make the pros and cons list about yourself because something about you is attracted to this guy that you're dating. And you need to see, like, why is it so familiar to you? And he was the prototype of every man that she had previously been with.
I just think it's kind of interesting that she's able to call out these things for you.
Correct.
But she also played a role contributing to these things.
Correct.
But I don't know. And I'm not judging. I just think it's interesting that the whole dynamic with you and your mom is just very unique in the sense that it's almost like she definitely wants you to be a better version of her.
Better version.
But she's definitely able to call it out and give really great advice.
Yes.
And I don't even know what a pro and cons list of you would look like. What does that even mean?
So it's funny. I do it for my clients now, right? It's essentially a SWOT analysis on yourself. So a SWOT in business is when you, let's say, take an organization, or even if you were to take your podcast, Eating While Broke. Okay, what are the strengths of the show? What are the weaknesses? Where's the opportunities for growth? And what are the threats? And so what that would look like for yourself is, okay, where do I excel? What are my strengths? What am I superior at? What do I do amazing? What are my weaknesses? Where's the areas that I suck, that I'm awful, that I'm a horrible person? All right, I'm going to give you one. Y'all, I was late to the show. Time management would be one of my weaknesses.
Just to be clear, though, when you give a a leadway way before. That's so, late would be like over half an hour.
I communicated.
She was 15 minutes, but she called and was calling and texting and doing the whole 9. So she, that's a passable
I was
late.
on client calls. I was like, okay,
that's your weakness. That ain't bad.
Okay, it is bad in the sense of I know it about myself and I'm still having a hard time changing it. I try to do too much in a certain amount of time.
Because you're a mom, that's what we do.
I was like this before him. I would love to blame my son. Now he just be running late with me. So
that's how my neighbor is. Shout out to my neighbor. She'd be like, hey, I'll take both the kids to school. I'm like, nah, because no disrespect, you're going to be late.
You're going to be late. You're going to be late. So for the SWOT, it's like, okay, strengths, weaknesses, and then opportunities. Where is Spicy Body's opportunities for growth, right? I know the weaknesses maybe time management. Where are my opportunities for growth? Okay, maybe I'm going to, set my alarm, schedule my appointments better. Maybe I'm not going to take on more than I could chew and make an overcommit. The threats, if I don't work on this thing that is horrible about myself, what is going to happen to me? What is going to happen if I don't work on my time? I'm going to miss opportunities. I could potentially disrupt other people's livelihood. Like, you have to really assess the threats. And so in a relationship, you have to do this for yourself, because I'm over here saying like, I want to be a wife, but I haven't looked at within, well, why aren't I yet? What am I doing? What toxic traits do I have? And I had some toxic ones. I thought just because I was like, studying relationship, I was also using some of those gifts that my mom warned me about to take advantage of, I believe, men who really did care about me.
Wow.
And because I was hurt, right? I was actually making choices from a wounded place. And I thought, well, I'm empowered. I'm not going to, love these hoes. And it was really like, no, you are afraid to let them in because you grew up seeing your mother get hurt. You're afraid of abandonment. You're afraid of being poor again. And so all of these things played a role in the choices that I was making in men. And so when she gave me that little wake-up call, like, she called it like a pros and cons list, but I call it a SWOT now.
SWOT analysis on yourself.
You need to do it on yourself because something about you wants this dude.
Okay.
And at that moment, that was a wake-up call to me because she was like, you think you're running circles around me and you're trying to avoid being me. She was like, but you are on a trajectory to become me.
Jeez.
And I was like, dang it, Mom. And that was my wake-up call. I was like, you know what? I do want a wife. I do want to be a wife. And I do want a family. And I want a healthy one. And I want a 2-parent home. And so if I'm going to do that, what are the things about me that I have to change? How do I need to show up to prepare to be a wife? How do I need to make shifts in my life? How do I need to communicate?
Yeah.
And when I went back to school and I studied like SPICY. So in order to be in a healthy relationship, SPICY.
SPI.
Spicy.
Oh, spicy. Oh, sorry.
SPICY is it's the acronym.
Spicy. It takes me a minute to sound it out in my head. That's all.
I know.
Spicy.
I be seeing you commute. I see you compute the things though. I see you're the wheels in your head turning.
Spicy. All right, spicy.
Yes.
Okay.
So when I went back to school, the entire birth of the spicy life was me studying what makes a healthy relationship. So I threw myself back into school and was like, okay, I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to prioritize this. And I still love men. I'm still going to date. But in my studies, I discovered that the main ingredients that you need for a healthy relationship are the self component. You need to love thyself, but also know thyself. So it's the self-awareness part. The next part is passion. You've got to have a passion for your purpose and a passion for life. You have to be able to evoke passion in others. Intimacy is the I. How do you connect? What wounds do we need to heal? Where are you strong in your femininity and your masculinity? And how do you show intimacy? How do you pull intimacy out of others? Communication, how do you deliver that message?
Okay.
For your target audience. So if you want a man, how do you speak to men? If you want a woman, how do you speak to women?
Yeah.
Sender versus receiver. And then the last part is sacrificing whatever's holding you back.
Yeah, I saw that. Like you had said something like get used to saying yes or finding the power to say yes. What did you say in your
learning to say yes?
Learning to say yes. And I was like, oh, that's different.
Yeah.
What does that even look like? Learning to say yes.
Learning to say yes.
We're in a culture of all boundaries.
Yeah, everybody's like, no. And I'm like, yes. In the sense of, what am I afraid of and how do I conquer that? What do I need to sacrifice to be able to achieve my heart's desire?
Got it.
What do I need to say yes to? Is it more invitations? Is it yes to the guy who I'm like, that's not my type?
Yeah.
Is it yes to this class that I want to enroll in? Is it yes to this thing that maybe somebody is asking me to try and I'm closed off to it? A lot of us are really just trying to protect ourselves at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And so the decisions that we make are always going to resort back to what am I afraid of and what am I trying to avoid so that I don't repeat the same mistakes.
Got it.
And you need to say yes to sometimes the unknown. Yeah. Yes to the elevation and to the expansion.
Now I get it. Now I get the yes.
So instead of those five things, that's spicy.
Some freaky stuff. No. What you talking about? Say yes. What if you want to do something you ain't into?
But yes will help you in your relationship too, though, because when your partner's proposing things, if you shut them down, if you close them down, that's going to train them to not open up to you. That's going to train them that like, well, she always says no. Mm-hmm. And so when you say yes and you're more open, right? Even in improv, yes and. That gives the person permission to be open with you.
Okay.
So I decided I'm going to go full blown spicy and ran with it in the sense of I had to own it. I had to be spicy and I had to create the spicy life and I had to teach others how to be spicy. So I decided I did a transformation. I went from Venom to Spider-Man and I was like, I have to now use my powers for good like my mom told me back in the day.
Now to build this empire that you've built, what did that runway look like? Because I would imagine you were doing something on the side till you got the company off the ground, or were there? Always. So can you tell me just a little bit tidbits of how the company?
I was a sales rep one time for. I've had jobs all my life, through even to put myself through college. But after graduation, it looked like me. Working as a buyer for Macy's. I've been a pharmaceutical sales rep. I was a PR rep for an insurance agency at one point. All those times that I had like that full-time job coming in, I always worked at my craft of relationships and hosting. Okay. So I always did radio at the same time because that doesn't pay.
Yeah.
And I always did radio and TV.
Okay.
and that would be always like sending the relationship message of my spicy tips.
Got it.
But that did not pay the bills. I had to do these other jobs in the interim.
Okay. But now you're just full-time spicy.
Now I'm full-time spicy life. Okay.
And how does that look like from an entrepreneur's perspective, day in the life? Is it smooth or is it bumpy still?
Oh no, it's crazy. And this is why like I have my husband who is my purpose mate. He's my ride or die because he saw how I was trying to manage like jobs at the same time while build my empire. And I was disorganized with how I was trying to build the spicy life. And he was like, okay, we're not going to be able to scale. We're not going to be able to grow this business if you are running 20 different ways. Yeah. And this is how we need to actually like create and run your operations. And so because he's an expert in that, shout out to my husband, Marriage and Finances book. He was able to help me become more organized in my business. And then that's when I really start to see the benefits. And I always knew, I was like, well, I want my own radio and TV show as a relationship expert. And he said, focus on the business. You build the business, the shows will come. Okay. Build the business, the shows will come. Okay. And I was like, no, I gotta audition. I gotta, show my expertise as being able to talk about, relationships on TV shows. He's like, build the business, the shows will come. Okay. And I focused on just my clients. I poured into them. I poured into walking folks down the aisle. I went and got officiated so I could marry them off.
I saw that.
I did all the things. And the shows came.
And that was my next thing. So they just started contacting you saying, hey, we would love for you to audition, or they just said, come on, pack your bags?
Shows usually will reach out to me and it will be essentially an audition. It will look like an audition in the sense of we need a relationship expert. Can you talk about these 3 things on Zoom really quick? Or we saw your videotape. We want to see, how you read with this, co-host. And so that would literally just be that was, dang, I'm happy I listened to my husband, and I'm happy that I stayed on this trajectory.
Yeah.
And when you see yourself do more good than broken hearts, it's like, whoo. But it makes me a great coach, though.
Yeah.
Because I went through all my seasons. I went through my poor season. I went through my hoe season. I went through, my anxious, attachment, thirsty season. I went through my pimp season. I went through all the seasons. And so it helps me with women because no matter what phase they're coming in, and me now being the CEO of my company, I'm mostly working with like those alpha queens.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Those very,
I was
like,
the independent women are
independent.
I saw one of my girls post like the dad cannot be independent because it is a real heavy. I think women carry it well. Like it's a very from the outside, it's carried very well. But I remember I think DC Youngfly had said to me like women carry the most grace. Like hell could be going on at home. They're gonna put on a smile and
for sure
or whatever. And but I see, I think women that are real independent, they just want the break. They're like, yeah, this is for the birds. This sucks, you know?
It's challenging because when you focus on just your career, right? I knew that I wanted both. So I always did multitask in the sense of build my career, and I was a lover girl.
Yeah, of course.
You weren't gonna find me without a man. It's like unless I was being intentional of being without a man, I always had a man.
What was the longest you were ever single? I think the most I made it was like 1 year. But when I say 1 year, it was literally I was just like, let's wait, just a couple more butts to put the title on it. You know, like you knew what you were doing, but I was like, please, man, I promised myself I'd be officially single, but like. It was really.
But see, you had to make a pact. Like you had to like.
I had to try. I had to try real hard. I ain't never really been single ever.
I did 6 months.
Yeah, I did 6
months.
And
I did a detox. I was like, okay, no men, no sex, no dates, no nothing.
Okay.
No nothing. I did that detox just to see like one, if I could do it, but also two, just to focus on me. I wanted to be selfish in that moment.
I like
because
that.
Relationships are really about serving. Healthy relationships are about serving one another. So that's that single. I've been in all the seasons. But nothing compares to the spicy season where you're empowered with understanding the tools and the power that we have as women to pivot back and forth between our masculine and feminine. To get anything done, you do have to lean into your masculine when it comes to like efficiency, but to get the things that you want and to not have to work as hard for it, you need to lean into your feminine.
Yeah.
So into the receiving.
I agree. Okay, well... One thing I want to backtrack to is you said Marriage and Finances was the name of
my husband's book. Yeah,
your husband's book. All right, shout outs to your husband, Marriage and
Finances.
Shout out to
Shay, Marriage and Finances.
Okay, Shay, what's his last name?
Wah.
If people want to look it up.
My husband is Shay Wah.
Okay, Shay Wah, and the name of the book is Marriage and Finances.
Yes.
Just shout outs if you guys want to check that out because it helps the spicy life.
Look,
so
what I'm telling you, my husband is that man.
And then how can someone out there identify deal breakers that are just non-negotiables? You know that this relationship is definitely headed down a path of just going opposite ways, or maybe they were on course but then they parted. I have you here, so I'm gonna try and get it out of you.
So let me give you the pizza. This is a cooking show. Let me give you the pizza. So the pizza is how you get led to your purpose mate, okay? How you exclude and get rid of all the waste, all the garbage, all the trash. Your pizza is the crust, sauce, and toppings. Those are the 3 things you need for a good pizza. Crust, sauce, toppings. Crust is the foundation. So folks at home need to do 5 things that they believe make a good human. Write those 5 things down, okay? The 5 things you think make a good human. The sauce is the 5 ways that I need to be treated in order to feel loved. To be inspired to give love and to feel loved. I need these 5 things. That's going to be very hard for people to answer. The crust is hard for people to answer, and the sauce is hard for people to answer. The last
and you can't go generic, like just they have to have integrity or whatever.
If that's a core value of yours.
That would be in the
crust, that would be in the crust. But the sauce needs to be like, I need chivalry. That's a non-negotiable for me. I have to have chivalry. The toppings is the next.
The cheese.
The toppings is the cheese.
Oh, the toppings.
The toppings is the cheese. I didn't know if cheese falls. It goes crust, sauce, toppings. Cheese is considered a topping.
Okay, go on.
So the toppings is, what do I need to be physically attracted to this person?
Oh, okay.
How can and what do they need to have for me to want to take my clothes off? The toppings,
I like this. Okay.
is how everybody is dating in 2025. We're starting with the toppings, and then we're pulling back that pizza, and we're being like, okay, what does the sauce look like? Okay, what does the crust look like? And that's jacking us up as a society.
Yeah.
It's messing us up.
Well, I'll say this, though. I feel like the way people are dating back in the day, and I truly believe that the only reason why I was always in a relationship was, you would make a guy wait or whatever. Now, if you hang out with a guy, they have like their own number. If they're not smashing by like date 2, they're like, well, I got Shakira, Keisha, Sarah, and Jody or whoever that are all in rotation right now. Yep. I don't even want to waste my time. So it's weird because now they don't even want to stick around. I had guys that would stick around forever. Yeah. And then if you did hook up with them, they were definitely like, you're my girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? And this era is like,
but sex doesn't guarantee that.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But I'm just saying that when you're thinking about your layers, people start with this toppings, right? Then they hook up, right? Because they're just going off attraction, and then they're peeling back the layers.
They're peeling back those layers.
So it's backward.
It's backwards. You're absolutely right.
Versus
1,000%. And that backwardsness is messing us up, especially as us as women who want husbands. Because if you're working backwards and you're operating and thinking like a man, because that's what a man cares about. He cares about toppings. If you don't have the toppings, a man's not fooling with you at all. Yeah. But for a woman that's looking for a husband, the crust and the sauce are by far the most important things. Got it. And so as you create your pizza, right, you're gonna write your pizza out, the 5-5-5. The toppings are negotiable because if he has the crust and he has the sauce, it's still good freaking pizza. Yeah. It's still a delicious pizza.
And you're definitely gonna be attracted to it. Yeah.
He becomes more attractive to you the better that he treats you. There needs to be a few toppings on there just so that you can take your clothes off. But all 5 do not have to be on there, okay? Those are negotiable. You can fix the things that, that may not be on there. My husband had crooked teeth. Now he got Invisalign. He's straight. His teeth are straight now. Yeah. But this needs to be the map, the road map to how you are dating and how you are getting in a relationship. If they don't have the crust is non-negotiable. If they're not a good human, if they show you anything outside of those 5 like qualities in the crust, you have to release them. Dang. You have to release them.
Now, what if someone say dip their hands in the little cookie jar and they're attached? They gotta let go.
If you want a husband and you want a healthy relationship, you gotta release them. Because why would you? If he's not the crust, if he doesn't have the characteristics that you just said defined a good human. Yeah. Why are you with him? Ooh. What are you doing here, sis? Like,
or her.
Because men do this too.
Yeah, men do this too.
But for us trying to select husbands, it may have to be in the sense of a numbers game. Okay, so you do have to give up 5. You might have to give up 10. You may have to continue your rotation in your dating pool when these qualities are conveyed. You have to give up. You might have to give up someone.
Oh, give up. Yeah, give up a guy.
Like you might have to catch and release.
And
you move on to the next dude. Yeah. Catch and release, move on to the next one.
I went through a phase where I said I have to catch and release. The second I feel slight disrespect, you released back to the ocean.
You got to sometimes let him go.
You got to let him go. Okay. And then for the married folk out there, shout outs to all the married people. The roller coaster.
Oh, that's right. We in a roller coaster over here.
Yeah. What advice do you give to those folks that have been at it for a while now?
Spice it up.
Spice it up with the spicy.
And it doesn't just look like the bedroom. I'm telling you, if you become more attractive when your partner sees you growing. So start pouring into yourself, whether that's something that you want to register for, a hobby that you want to get into, and expose your partner to it. That actually becomes sexy when you teach your partner new things. So that's what I call intellectual intimacy.
Oh, I like that.
To where it's like I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm teaching myself, cool things, or someone introduced something to me, and then you share that with them. You get them then into the thing that you are being expanded by. Yeah, and then they within themselves will also be expanded. But that keeps the relationship intimacy there. And then also, I do think that you gotta put love on the to-do list. So, like, we do need our date nights. I also am a huge proponent of scheduled sex.
Really? Yes. Scheduled?
Yes.
Scheduled?
Mine is scheduled.
How do you do that, though?
You put it on the calendar.
I'm going to be all the way 100. I have the same age child as you.
Yeah.
I promise you, around 9 o'clock, if me and my significant, my husband are together, the only thing that's happening is sleep.
Yep.
Like, I don't know if it's like the energy or the vibe.
Y'all
but
tired.
It's just like the energy with her in the peripherals.
Yep.
It just is tired. It's like dead tired.
Yep.
You know? And I'm like,
that is like a
but if she wasn't around, it'd be
though.
different.
I get it.
But you schedule it. So you say like Wednesday, every Wednesday, this is what's
like
going
we're gonna
on.
put the baby to bed at this time and we're gonna get it in. Like,
and it doesn't feel forced?
It's not about, no, because it actually gives you something to look forward to. People feel like if I put it on the calendar or I make it like a part of my agenda, it's not going to be spontaneous and I want it spontaneous. And I'm like, but I want the sex and I know my time management is bad. So if I try to make it spontaneous, it's never going to happen. I would rather have the connection. I would rather be plugged into with him than miss out on our passion and our intimacy. So it's actually now being intentional. If we're intentional about everything else in our life, whether it be our workouts, whether it's drinking water, why not be intentional about your sex life as well? If you are a busybody like me, I'm a busybody.
It makes sense.
And I do get tired.
And
but
then
if I know
if you have a kid, you'd be like, yo, we all looking at the kid like you going to bed at 8:35 tonight.
Salt. My son be trying to sleep with us and I'm like, you're throwing salt on my game.
Them kids are like 100% birth control, man.
Well, 1,000%. 1,000%. But that is by nature though. If they keep you busy, if they make sure that you have all of their attention, they can eliminate the potential for siblings. And they can absorb all of the resources that come with being an only child.
Yeah. Okay. And then what do you advise for people that are going through separation?
Separations are challenging because it's 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah.
You're trying to decide, do you want to stay? Do you want to go? And so I think that you need to be very clear on, do we have the same goal? Do we both want the same things in life? If we want completely different things in life, because I think that when you are with your purpose mate, you guys understand the bigger picture. And so anything that diverts from that throws you off track. Yeah. So you always have to go back to, okay, what is the goal in the relationship? What are we both trying to accomplish, not just in our career, but in our relationship goals? You have to put relationship goals and like have team meetings for relationship goals, just the same way that you would for financial, on the calendar. Everything goes on the calendar at this point in my life. Really? I still be running behind, but even the sex runs behind. But everything goes on the calendar. Yeah, I'm 15 minutes to my sex
You're
appointments.
Hilarious. You're hilarious. I can't even imagine what that would look like.
But it is separation.
Would you call him frantically the way you called us?
I was like,
I'm
so sorry.
It's 15 minutes. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. Yes.
I'll make it up.
That is one thing. Me and my husband, we communicate. He's even a better communicator than me, but we communicate.
And you still think communication is like key?
Number one.
Number one.
A lot of us think that we are great communicators, and we are not.
Okay. And what's the difference between male and female communication?
So, oh my God, there's a million things, but I'll start with love versus logic. And so, women, communication is an emotional experience for us. For men, communication is a driver of efficiency and logic, right? And so that's why we are in our masculine when we are at work, because we are trying to just, let me give you this information so we can make these changes so we can be efficient and effective. Men naturally communicate with the factual disclosure. Factual disclosure is the facts that you need to know. Women, we communicate oftentimes with emotional disclosure. And if you're a woman not communicating with emotional disclosure, you'll never create intimacy in relationship. That you're operating your masculine and you need to call me. But emotional disclosure is telling you how the fact made you feel.
Okay. So that's a good thing if you're
That is a good thing.
Okay.
Most of us as a society are not operating in emotional disclosure. We are operating in factual disclosure when we are in our masculine energy.
So give me an example. You and I, we're in a relationship.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a factual disclosure. Like, today I have an appointment at 4 p.m. Sorry, I couldn't make it to our dinner.
Okay.
Is that a good example?
Yes, close.
Oh. That
That would be, I have a 4 p.m. Doctor's appointment, or I have a 4 p.m. conference call. And you can say like, I'm sorry. that's not being apologetic is an emotion. However, we would take it a step further and say, I apologize, and it makes me feel awful to have disappointed you and not being able to make it. But I need you to understand that what I'm, going through really requires this for my esteem. I got to make this appointment, and tell me how this is making you feel and how I can make it up to you.
That's the emotional.
That is the emotional.
Okay.
You have to let the person into how it's making you feel. They need to see the remorse. They need to hear the repentance. They need to, because the problem with I'm sorry, and this is a whole nother episode about the apology languages. The problem with I'm sorry is that people, if you use I'm sorry in relationship, it doesn't work anymore. Because if you've been sorry 100 times, the person's tired of hearing it.
Yeah, they're like, whatever.
So the emotional disclosure would come in, even though you're like, well, I'm sorry, that's an emotion. Apologetic is, but I'm sorry is like the delivery of the remorse. The person actually needs to hear and feel and experience the remorse to actually believe you.
I agree with that.
But the factual disclosure would be, we made toast. Baby, my husband's gonna ask me how the podcast went. I'm like, we made toast. Yeah, that's factual disclosure. He's not bonded to me.
That's a factual.
Baby,
yes, that's a perfect example. Got it.
That sugar cinnamon toast, I like to call it my spicy toast, baby. And it took me back to my childhood when I was feeding my siblings and I was responsible for them at a young age. And that was so hard on me. But like, we persevered, and it made me feel good to think about, mama, we made it. Like, that's more emotional disclosure.
But now, do men like that? Because you always see these jokes online where men are like, they kind of tune out because the woman is just downloading and the man is just like, had lunch. The end.
What are you trying to achieve in that moment? If we want to bond, I need to give you emotional disclosure. If I'm trying to get ish done, I need to give you factual disclosure. So if I want the man closer to me, I should not be mirroring his communication. I should be having him mirror mine. But if I never speak to you in emotional disclosure, you never learn. You never learn as my partner how to become more articulate with your emotional language. Yeah. We get on a vibration of masculinity and we're just delivering the facts to each other. Yeah. Versus, oh my God, it makes me feel so good when you came home early today. I needed that. I needed to see you. I needed to recharge with your presence. Like that, he needs to know what the fact meant to him.
Got it.
And he will not be guided to being closer to you unless he hears it. It does not need to be a 4-page letter. And that's where we go wrong.
Yeah. With the 18-page text.
Correct.
Now, there's another thing that men have been saying online is that women like to be lied to. Have you heard about that?
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I do think it's interesting because I can see in some ways where they're making sense.
So... tell me your opinion on it.
I think it's kind of true.
Okay.
I think it's kind of true. Like, me and my husband, we separated for a couple years, and women were like, this one girl had talked to me. She said, well, he told me, she said, you're separated. I said, yeah, well, that still means married. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, still means married. I'm not holding you responsible.
I still have paperwork on him.
Yeah. Until divorce, it's you're married. Correct. So, or no, she said you're married on paper. And that's what I said. I said, that is exactly what that is exactly what it is. So stop saying married on paper. Just say married. But I remember having this conversation with this girl, and she literally kept saying married on paper. And I was just like, no anger towards this young lady. No, I didn't curse her out. But I could not believe that this young lady was saying to me, married on paper, fully saying it like it was okay, but not realizing what she said was married on paper. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was like a form of lying to herself. It's like, yeah, but she got, and then there was all these things that she saw that was very clear evidence that this person is clearly married, right? But that to me would be an example of someone lying to themselves. Do you get?
I understand exactly what you're saying.
Do you feel that too? That's kind of like lying to yourself, right?
We will look for how to turn the red flags into green flags. Yeah. As women, we can oftentimes try to rationalize mistreatment, rationalize what's obvious, because we want to feel a certain way. Yeah. Okay. We want something. We have a desire of our heart, and we want to achieve it. So we will rationalize the bad thing that intuitively maybe telling us like run. Yeah. we will rationalize it. But we rationalize it by lying to ourselves about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
By painting a pretty picture and making it seem like it's normal.
Yeah.
And deep down inside, when we are healed, we're able to recognize that. When you're unhealed, you now have become desensitized from the recognition and being tapped out of your intuitive.
Yeah.
So you begin to lose trust of self also.
Yeah. 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 I could see that. Well, in the conversation, I could see with the young lady too. Like her friends were like, "What are you doing?"
Correct.
You know. And then there was one other thing. Do you ever consult poly relationships?
That's funny. I've done a poly show.
Yeah, you have.
I will. So I've done, let's say, triangles, right? In the sense of husband, wife who he's separated or divorcing, and mistress. Okay. I've counseled them. When it comes to polyamorous relationships, I do not believe that restores the family unit when you have the intentions of having multiple partners. I do not think that we have the ability or to be able to juggle them all. And I do not feel like a man without discipline can be trusted.
I agree with that.
So I will not counsel polyamorous relationships. And I've been approached by them. You know, can we start such sessions? No, we cannot.
And that's interesting that they're also approaching you because they, you know, when you see these poly relationships, they glamorize this whole like multiple and we all get along. You would never, you know, it's interesting to hear that these same people are saying, hey, can you help us?
Yeah, there's a lot of coaches and counselors that will take anyone. I'm finally at a point in my career where I don't have to.
Yeah.
There was a point when I'm like, come on. and
so there's a screening process with your patients.
Yeah, we do consultations first. I do an assessment. And that's like 150 questions where I'm like figuring out, okay, where do I need to help you within SPICY?
Yeah.
So there's a whole process before we get started. You're signing a service agreement, an NDA. Like we're going through the real. Because I'm going to not only deep dive into your life, I'm letting you into mine.
Got it. Oh, okay. So it's a two-way.
It's a two-way. I can't teach you the fundamentals and the formulas for trust and intimacy without reciprocating.
Got it.
There's no way for me to be able to transform your perspective and understand your beliefs and hear your childhood wounds and traumas if it's one-sided. And that's not to say that a lot of my clients experience therapy and me simultaneously because therapy will help them understand like where that experience came from or what was at the root. I help them in the transformation of, okay, this is how we actually tackle it. This is how we create the change.
Okay.
So there's self-awareness component and there's the self-actualization component. That's where I'm coming in and kicking your ass. Nice.
So where can everybody keep up with everything The Spicy Life?
You guys can go to thespicylife.com. You can play with my Twitter, stroke my IG at SpicyMadi. You can find the podcast everywhere that they're streaming, The Spicy Life.
And you tape that every week or?
Every week we have episodes.
Every week, yes. So all the relationship advice, all the relationship, I guess, guru topics and challenges you come there. And is it just you or do you have a guest?
I have a guest come on every episode with me.
Wow. And then they just... full transparency.
Yes. Sometimes we're talking about their expertise in the profession because I'll have a lot of like relationship coaches or therapists and counselors come on. Or it's a guest that we're exploring their love life.
Wow. Heard it here first.
Hey.
And then any other projects on the TV?
Netflix. We got to shout out Netflix. Sneaky Links. Okay. I already told you. I'm team healthy relationship. So situationships, booty calls, sneaky links do not help you get closer to your husband. Okay. So I'm the relationship expert on this show on Netflix right now that's streaming.
It's called
Sneaky Links.
Sneaky Links.
Oh
my goodness.
Yes.
And you're on the team healthy side, so you're gonna.
I'm helping the singles in the motel. Transform their sneaky ways so that they can be a magnet for real love.
Wow. But that doesn't happen overnight. How long do you tape the show?
We were in the motel for a month.
Okay.
And so we're doing like coaching sessions together, putting them through like a boot camp of activities.
Okay.
And even putting temptation in front of them to test for the change.
Did they pass? Did a lot of them pass?
Not all of them. You can lead them to water, okay?
That's
you
funny.
Can't necessarily get them to drink.
Check out Sneaky Links on Netflix. I know I am, because I just want to see people fail tests, because I'm that person.
But you and your husband are back together now, right?
Yeah, we're working
you
on
guys
it.
Did
yes, he's working very hard. I'm very proud of him.
Oh.
So,
I love that you
keep the
didn't give up
momentum.
on it. I love that you didn't give up on it.
Shoot, I'm a hard one. Let me tell you something. When I be done, I blow up the whole building. I'm like, that's it. It's a wrap. But yeah, my daughter's very happy, so I'm 100% cool with it. Yeah, I'll try. Shout outs to growth.
You
though.
call me anytime you need help.
Growth.
When you're
gonna whoop his butt if he messes up.
I probably would.
Yeah. Right now he's on a good path. Shout outs to him though. I definitely respect. I respect anybody that works on themselves and works really hard and fights a good fight and doesn't quit. That's my thing.
That's
don't
important.
quit. Just don't quit.
What
Just
are you comfortable sharing where the areas are that he asked you to grow?
Where he asked me to grow,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you asked him, he'd probably say I have an anger. I have a little bit of anger. I'm
temper?
Jamaican.
Like my husband.
When I speak patois to him, he thinks I'm possessed. He like, yo, I gotta book a ticket out of the state.
That temper, oh my God, I had to work with my husband early on that, like what we won't be doing in this relationship. Okay, yeah, I know that temper.
So yeah, that will be, or like I don't listen. Maybe I may cut him off before he finishes. I'm like.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's about it. But I would say he'd probably say
that's
anger.
It.
Yeah.
The communication.
I don't think it's
no
that
biggie.
bad, but yeah, it's just
the communication. No
just
biggie. Conflict.
Is that
communication?
that is communication?
Yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
that would be it. That would probably be his number one. Other than that, he'd be cool.
Okay.
All
right. I'm gonna have a little session with y'all.
Hilarious. That's funny. He probably needs it. He needs a good tweaking.
I love when I hear a couple say, "My partner needs it, but I'm good." That's the.
I sure did that.
That is the clear path.
Because you offered it to
both.
Yeah.
You both very much need this. Okay. Anytime we point the finger to the other partner, I know it's a telltale. That's like technical 101.
You want to know something? It's so funny because I totally did that like 3 times in a row. Like yeah,
you sure did.
He needs the help.
Everybody
I got the
saw
anger,
that.
but he needs the help. All right. Well, thank y'all for tuning in to a great meal. I'm gonna finish my egg. Oh, did you finish your egg?
I killed mine.
Okay. I'm gonna finish my egg. Peace out, y'all.